Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Did you know that nearly half of all the internet traffic out there right now isn't actually human? It's literally bots, and a massive chunk of those are scraper bots that are absolutely fueling the modern digital economy. I mean, the demand for extracting public web data has just exploded at an unbelievable rate. We're talking everything from deep market research and real-time competitor price monitoring, all the way to the insatiable appetite for the data required to train these massive new AI models. Data really is the new oil. But, well, here's the thing. Nobody actually wants to sit around writing complex code to get it anymore. And that is exactly why we're seeing this massive surge in no-code web scraping tools. So today, we're going to take a hard look at the two absolute biggest players on the market, ParseHub and Octoparse, and uncover the secret infrastructure you actually need to make them work at scale.
Okay, let's dive into this. We are going to walk through 5 critical stages of our level-up journey today. The no-code scraping boom, Octoparse versus ParseHub, the hidden scraping wall everyone eventually hits, why proxies are your secret weapon, and finally, exactly how to choose your proxy type.
So, starting things off with Section 1, the no-code scraping boom, extracting data without code.
Think about this for a second. Businesses desperately need massive, continuous streams of data for competitive intelligence, lead gen, SEO tracking, the whole shebang. But dealing with Python, handling complex parsing logic, and constantly having to go in and fix broken scraping scripts just because a website slightly updated its layout, it is a massive bottleneck. People just want to visually click what they need and let the software do the heavy lifting, right? I mean, imagine spending 3 weeks building a custom data pipeline, only to realize the tool you chose can't even handle the target website's basic architecture. No way. That is exactly what we want to avoid today. Which brings us to the ultimate question, ParseHub or Octoparse? If you want to extract data without writing a single line of code, these are the two undisputed heavyweights in the space. And choosing the right one can literally make or break your data project right out of the gate.
Moving right along to Section 2, Octoparse versus ParseHub, finding your perfect match. Now, before we really look at how they differ, it's pretty crucial to know what they share. Modern websites are incredibly dynamic. They're not just static text on a page anymore. They rely heavily on JavaScript to load content, render images, handle infinite scrolling, all of that. The great news here is that both of these tools are actually fantastic at handling JavaScript-heavy websites and complex social media pages. But there is a real divide between the two. On the left, we've got Octoparse. It is heavily focused on user experience. It's wildly beginner-friendly, offers incredibly fast setup times, and has this massive pre-built template library. Like if you just need to pull some pricing from Amazon today, Octoparse's templates will literally have you done in 10 minutes. Then on the right, you have ParseHub. Now, it definitely has a steeper learning curve, but it is built specifically for advanced users who really need complex workflows, deep navigation paths, and highly customized extraction logic. If you're trying to navigate a complex, multi-layered real estate database that's hidden behind a login wall and several search filters, ParseHub's advanced workflow gives you the absolute ultimate control. So essentially, Octoparse is your go-to for speed and simplicity, while ParseHub is your absolute powerhouse for deep customization. Which brings us to Section 3, the hidden scraping wall, why your scraper isn't enough. Okay, so here is the major plot twist of our explainer. You could spend days setting up the absolute perfect Octoparse template or ParseHub workflow. You hit run, sit back, and feel like a total genius. But if you try to actually scrape at scale, say pulling 10,000 product listings, you are going to hit a massive brick wall. Strict websites actively and aggressively monitor incoming traffic, and modern bot detection, it's incredibly sophisticated. It doesn't just look at how fast you're making requests. It's looking at digital fingerprints, cookie behavior, even missing mouse movements. If they see thousands of rapid-fire, perfectly uniform requests coming from a single IP address, like your computer's IP, they know instantly that you're a bot. They're going to hit you with rate limits, flood your screen with unsolvable CAPTCHAs, or honestly just outright ban your IP. Without additional infrastructure, your beautiful ParseHub or Octoparse project is just entirely dead in the water.
Enter Section 4, why you need proxies, the hidden infrastructure.
I actually love using the iceberg analogy here to explain the solution. The software you use, whether it's ParseHub or Octoparse, is really just the tip of the iceberg that's visible above the water. It's the sleek interface. But the massive chunk of ice underwater, the infrastructure that actually keeps your entire data collection project afloat, that is a robust proxy network. Take a look at this feedback from a proxy rack customer. They said, with ProxyRack, I don't think about proxies and recap set anymore. I set them up one time, and now with every request, I have a new IP. This gets right to the heart of the mechanics. Instead of just banging your head against a wall with one single IP address, automated IP rotation acts like a digital invisibility cloak. Under the hood, a completely new, clean IP address is swapped in for every single page request, so the target website doesn't see one bot making 10,000 requests. They just think it's 10,000 different, totally normal users browsing their site. Behind the scenes, having an integrated proxy network gives you just incredible power and flexibility. Using a service like ProxyRack, which is built specifically for this kind of automation and scale, you can actually route your connection through over 140 different countries. Now, why does that matter to you? Well, if you need to check localized flight prices in Germany or see exactly how an ad displays in Japan, you absolutely need an IP address from that specific region to get accurate data. Plus, instead of just working in the dark, you get a live reporting dashboard to track your current bandwidth, online IPs, and success rates. It supports all the major protocols too, and it seamlessly integrates right into your visual scraper, so all of this rotation just happens automatically in the background.
And finally, Section 5, choosing your proxy type: residential, mobile, or data center.
This brings us to what I like to call the final boss battle of data extraction, choosing the right proxy type for your specific target. Because look, not all proxies are created equal, and matching the network to the job is the absolute key to cost-effective, successful scraping. There are three main types. Data center proxies are your best bet for large-scale projects where you need incredibly fast speeds. Residential proxies are best for protected sites because of their extremely high trust levels. And mobile proxies? They are the absolute ultimate for anti-bot bypass due to their stellar carrier reputation. So let's look a little closer at exactly when you'd want to deploy each one.
First up, data center proxies. Think of these as the incredibly fast, highly scalable workhorses of the proxy world. Through providers like ProxyRack, you get access to a pool of over 20,000 unique data center proxies. Because they are hosted on commercial servers, their connection speeds are lightning fast, and they are super affordable for broad crawling projects. The catch? Well, they aren't tied to a traditional internet service provider, so they're slightly easier for strict websites to identify as non-human traffic. You really want to use these for your less restrictive websites. Think unshielded directories, smaller blogs, or open government databases where aggressive bot protection just isn't active.
So the crucial point is, what happens when you need to scrape a highly protected, strict site like a major search engine or a massive e-commerce platform? That's when you use residential proxies. These are real IPs assigned by actual internet service providers like your Comcast or AT&T to real household devices. So to the website you're scraping, your request doesn't look like a high-powered server sitting in a commercial warehouse. It literally looks like a grandma in Ohio casually browsing for shoes on her laptop. And because of this, they carry massive trust scores and incredibly low detection rates.
Finally, we have mobile proxies. These are IPs routed directly through actual 3G, 4G, and 5G carrier networks. And here is a really fascinating technical insight into why these are just so powerful. Mobile networks use something called carrier-grade NAT. Essentially, this means a single IP address might be shared simultaneously by 500 real people walking around downtown Chicago on their iPhones. If a website's security system decides to block that specific mobile IP, they aren't just blocking your bot. They are blocking 500 real paying customers from accessing their site. Websites simply cannot afford to do that. That shared structure makes mobile proxies practically unbannable. They are, for sure, the absolute top-tier solution for bypassing the most advanced, aggressive anti-bot systems imaginable.
Which leads us with this final thought for today. Are you just building a scraper, or are you building an infrastructure? The AI and data boom is only accelerating, guys, and whether you choose the beginner-friendly speed of Octoparse or the highly complex flexibility of ParseHub, just remember that your scraper alone isn't going to get the job done at scale. By pairing your visual scraper with a powerful, rotating proxy network, be it the raw speed of data center, the high trust of residential, or the unbannable nature of mobile, you transform a simple software tool into an absolutely unstoppable data extraction engine. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Now go out there and rethink your scraping stack.